العالمي للمرأة. ويفتتح هذه الندوة معالي الدكتور علي بن راشد النعيمي رئيس المجلس العالمي للمجتمعات المسلمة. فليتفضل مشكور.
علي النعيمي, the chairman of the World Muslim Societies Council, in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most.
أولا يعني سعيد جدا بتواجدكم في مثل هذا اليوم في هذا النشاط، وأحيي يعني هذه المثابرة من قبلكم على أن يكون دائما لكم حضور ولكم تواجد. ونحن مهم جدا أن نركز على تواجد المرأة المسلمة في كل المناشط العالمية والمناسبات العالمية والمناسبات الوطنية. وجود المرأة المسلمة، وجودها كشخصية فاعلة ونشيطة ومهتمة بالشأن العام، أعتقد ضرورة ونحتاج إلى نحن كلنا في العالم الإسلامي وخارج العالم الإسلامي لتغيير الصورة النمطية عن المرأة المسلمة في مجتمعاتنا وأيضا لدى الآخر. فالحقيقة أنا شاكر جدا ومقدر وجودكم وتفاعلكم الإيجابي مع مثل هذا النشاط اليوم. الرسالة الأولى التي نريد إيصالها الحقيقة
we want to convey is that the International Women's Day is important for both women and men, and it's important for the woman regardless of her religion, of her personality, of her ethnicity or race. And wherever the woman is, we want her to get her rights and to be active and dynamic and all that should be protected by legislations and laws in different countries. So having the ladies with us today and the involvement will enhance the role of the Muslim woman and will rectify the image that the West has on the Muslim woman in general.
All of you for being engaged in this event. You know, today we have a celebrity that, you know, having the Muslim women engage in it and seeing the Muslim women as proactive and speaking in such event, regardless of the event, if it is an international event or a national event, I think that will send the right message about the Muslim women, and that will correct also the stereotype image about the Muslim women in the Muslim world and also in the non-Muslim countries. I think your engagement is really appreciated, and we need you always to be active and engaged in such event. Thank you very much, and I wish you the best in this event, and stay safe. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
شكرا لمعالي الدكتور علي بن راشد النعيمي رئيس المجلس العالمي للمجتمعات
Thank you, Excellency Dr. Ali Al-Naimi, for your introduction speech. This symposium is from woman to woman, and we are just been involved in this symposium as men, and this organization of this symposium reflects the objectives of the World Muslim Council by enhancing the role of the Muslim woman in society as a partner of the man in the industry of tomorrow and in the upbringing of children, and how she can, by being in the non-Muslim societies, a partner in the civilization. The organization of this symposium is taking place after 1 year from the other symposium that took place before coronavirus, and which reflected on the role of the Muslim woman side to side with the men in facing coronavirus. Now, after 1 year, we are going to shed light on the role of the Muslim woman in education, in solidarity, in dialogue and communication in a civilized way with other spectrums of society. This symposium is also taking place in commemoration of the International Women's Day. And this day is not only for the women, but for the men as well. And each day is an occasion for us to celebrate the role of women. And like the scholar said, what is a duty is a duty. So this civilized partnership would not be possible without the role expected from the woman. So she is not only equal to the man, but she is a partner with the man. So I congratulate you and I extend my wishes to everyone who is participating with us in this symposium from Africa, from Australia, from America and Asia, and this reflects your trust in the World Muslim Societies Council, and at the same time, in this communication across continent reflects our same concern. So we wish you success, and I give the floor to the moderator of this symposium, who is waiting. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful, peace be upon you, dear audience, dear ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. I congratulate you on this honorable meeting, and I would like to thank the World Muslim Societies Council in the name of all the participants. We would like to thank you for your interest in the woman affairs. Like you said before, the Muslim woman at the moment, she's not only a support to the man, but she is a partner to the man in all aspects of life. And we can witness that in Europe or in the Muslim societies and the Arab world. And nowadays, the woman's role is not limited to upbringing the children or the family in general. And that does not mean that that's not a good role. On the contrary, it's primary role of the woman. But in these days, we have different requirements and conditions, and the woman is working on different fronts of society. And I would like to thank the World Muslim Societies Council for their interest in the Muslim woman, and they are pioneers in this field. And we have seen that through all the activities they have organized, all the conferences and activities they have organized. We always see that the woman represents a big part of the participants and researchers in this field. May God bless you, and may He guide you. Today, we have an elite of professors and scholars and activists who will share with us their expertise and tell us how they faced the difficulties during this year, how they overcome the challenges and get through this phase, which was not easy. And God willing, I hope that they can share with us their experience. And God willing, I will give the floor at the beginning to Dr. Amani Lewis. She is the Chancellor of Sharif Hidayatullah University in Jakarta, Indonesia. You have the floor, Doctor. May God bless you. Is the doctor with us? We have her name.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته دكتورة. How are you? كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله.
Thanks God, I'm very well.
تفضلي يا دكتورة.
You have the floor, doctor. You can start.
وبركاته. أما بعد.
In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful.
أولاً أهنئ كل المرأة في العالم وطبعاً المرأة المسلمة أيضاً على الاحتفال أو الاحتفاء باليوم العالمي للمرأة المرأة. نعم. وأهنئ أيضاً المجلس العالمي للمجتمع على إقامة
International Muslim Societies Council for organizing this symposium on the occasion of the Women's International Day, and
من قبل المجتمعات المسلمة.
reflect the voice of the women today.
دكتور
I would like to thank Dr. Ali Rashid Al-Nuaimi and Dr. Mohammed Al-Bashai for the introduction, and it's a pleasure for me to be with you today. There is an issue in the sound with the doctor. We could not hear what you're saying. Yeah, the same for me. I could not hear what she's saying.
في الإرسال في التغطية. نعم.
Maybe there is a problem with my connection.
مداخلتي موجودة عند المنظمين. هل
my speech I sent it to the organizer in case
المنظمين ممكن أن
Doctor, if you can just try to sit close to the outer of your internet.
أن
There's an issue with the sound.
غير مش stable. Unstable. How come? هل الأخوات في التنظيم ممكن أن يظهروا الباوربوينت؟
Colleagues from the organizing committee share my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, I will ask Fatin, could you help us in sharing the presentation of Dr. Amani?
من عندك
ممكن حاضر.
هذا السهم الأخضر عندك تحت، السهم الأخضر تعملي شير سكرين.
أيوة.
You can share your screen by clicking on the arrow at the bottom.
الصوت. افتحي صوتك. نعم.
If you can unmute yourself.
حاضر لحظة. أنا سأعمل شير سكرين لكن أنا أطفئ الآن الصوت قليلا.
تفضلي. نعم تفضلي.
الو
excuse me دكتورة أماني
خلاص أنا سأبدأ الآن.
ستبدأ.
I will start now. I am ready.
نعم آسفة جدا.
I am ready. Sorry.
يا نعم أنا خصصت الموضوع عن التمكين التعليمي والاقتصادي للمرأة المسلمة.
My presentation is about educational and economic empowerment of the Muslim woman, Indonesia as an example.
طبعا كما تعلمون أن إندونيسيا دولة تتكون من جزر هي طبيعتها أرخبيلية. التحديات التي نواجهها كشعب إندونيسي كبيرة جدا، خاصة في الوحدة يعني العناية بالوحدة الوطنية صعب جدا.
Unity, that's very hard.
فعدد سكان الآن ليس 260 ولكن 270 مليون ويعيشون في التناهي من التنوع من اللغات والعرق وأيضا الثقافات.
Very diversified from different ethnicities.
بالنسبة المؤشرات في إندونيسيا، فشهدت إندونيسيا تطوراً ملحوظاً في مجال التنمية، خاصة من ناحية المؤشر في التنمية البشرية. تم التقليل في عدد وفيات الأطفال إلى 24 حالة وفاة في كل 1000 مولود منذ عام 2017. وأيضا خفض نسبة الأمية من يعني الأمية منخفضة عندنا إلى 1.78% فقط في هذا العام الماضي يعني 2020. أما بالنسبة للتطور الاقتصادي لقد أسهمت في التقدم فيما يتعلق بتحسين أوضاع المرأة والتقليل من الفجوات في الدور الاجتماعي للرجال وأيضا النساء في جميع مناحي الحياة. ولكن أكدت الدراسات الحديثة لدى هيئة التخطيط القومي بأن ثقافة التركيز على الذكور والباترياركية في المجتمع أدت إلى نقص مشاركة المرأة في مجال أخذ القرار على المستويين الأهلي والحكومي. أما الآن سأتحدث عن قضايا المرأة الإندونيسية، وأظن هذه ليست قضايا مرأة إندونيسية فقط ولكن أيضا المرأة في جميع أنحاء العالم. أنا سأذكر كل القضايا مباشرة. هنا أولا حدوث في الآونة الأخيرة العولمة الثقافية، فالمرأة المسلمة مستهدفة. المرأة المسلمة دائما مستهدفة من قبل الثقافات التي موجودة في العالم وخاصة في عصر التقدم التكنولوجي وسهولة الحصول على الإنترنت. دائما المرأة هي ضحية أو تكون ضحية بالنسبة لهذه الوسائل الحديثة.
Can be a victim of these technologies.
ما زال هناك فجوة في مجال التعليم بين تعليم الذكور والإناث في العام الماضي.
And last year,
هذا النسبة هنا نسبة التعليم الأساسي.
Here we have a percentage for primary education. Males represent 96% and female 91%. This is for primary education.
فهناك
But
أيضا
for the higher levels of education, we still have gaps
وفي
there too.
إندونيسيا هناك كوارث
In
طبيعية
Indonesia, we
كثيرة
have
تواجه
natural
المرأة
disasters
طبعا
that
كثيرا
women face,
من المشاكل
and there are
وأيضا
lots of
كوفيد-19
problems with that, and
أيضا
also with the pandemic COVID-19 and its consequences that presents
يعني
problem for women and lead
في المرأة هناك تتطلب
for
من
the woman,
المرأة
or rather requires the woman
الكثير
to deploy
والهمة
lots of efforts
التغيير
and
الكلي في
to be
المجتمع
engaged
خاصة في
for
عمل
change in society,
التحولات في مجال
for
التعليم
changes
أيضا
in
لها دور
education,
كبير تحولات في
and the
مجال
woman is
الاقتصاد
playing a
أيضا
big
كبير
role
مجال
also in
الصحة لا
economy and in health as well.
ومطلوبها التي قد أجريت أو قد أدت منها. والعنف في حياة المرأة نشاهد أيضا عدد من القضايا موجودة في المجتمع نحاول تفاديها أو التقليل منها ولكن هناك صعوبات بسبب ضغوط الحياة وأيضا من الناحية
and also due
النفسية ضغوط نفسية وضغوط اجتماعية
psychological pressure
وضعف مشاركة المرأة في الحياة السياسية.
and there is also the weak participation of women in political life. This can be an obstacle for development because who will defend the rights and interests of women, all the demands of the women and the girls that cannot happen unless the woman is present in the political arena.
نعم ومشكلات العصر أسفة في الخطأ في الكتابة طبعا وجود التباعد الاجتماعي والحجر المنزلي الذي تقتضي إجراءات منع تفشي جائحة الكورونا لكن أصبحت هناك شقين من المشكلات تؤدي إلى حالات إيجابية هناك حسن المعاملة الزوجية لأن الأب والأم أو الزوج والزوجة والأولاد اجتمعوا في البيت
meet together at home with the children and to spend a good time together.
هناك أيضا تواصل مستمر بين أفراد الأسرة ولكن من ناحية أخرى هناك ناحية سلبيات مع كثرة الضغوط فقط الجائحة هناك ضغط نفسي وضغط أيضا وهناك عنف بالنسبة لأفراد الأسرة
violence by members of society on the women and the girls.
نعم بالنسبة للترقية بحقوق المرأة فنحن طبعا نلتزم كأفراد وكمنظمات نسائية وأيضا كدولة نلتزم بالاتفاقات والإعلانات الدولية حتى نستمر في الترقية والتمكين وأيضا تحسين وضع المرأة في جميع المجالات الحياتية. ترون هذه الصورة مظهر من مظاهر التعليم الإسلامي في إندونيسيا. هناك معهد تضم فقط مثلا 4000 طالبة في المرحلة الإعدادية والثانوية. يكون معهد داخلي البنات يعيشن فيها في هذا المعهد في المساكن الداخلية ويتلقون التعليم بكل همة وبكل يعني هناك جهود عظيمة من قبل القائمين أيضا على التعليم. فهذه المناظر كثيرة في إندونيسيا. فبالرغم من انخفاض الدخل أو انخفاض أيضا مستوى الاقتصادي في إندونيسيا، ولكن الشعب دائما معتمد على نفسه، وفي مجال التعليم أيضا وفي مجال الاقتصاد أيضا. ما حدث في إندونيسيا اضطرابات لأن الشعب دائما يعتمد على نفسهم، خاصة في الاقتصاد. كل فرد من الأفراد الأسرة الآن يهتمون بمشاريع المشاريع الاقتصادية الصغيرة والمتوسطة. فالكل الآن يطبخ ويبيع، يخيط أو يعمل أشغال ويبيع، ثم يعمل أي شيء حتى ينتج النقود ويستمر في مواصلة الحياة بطريقة طبيعية. نعم. فلا أكرر هذه المعلومات. هذه المعلومات نعم مكررة. أنتقل إلى التحديات أو مشكلات الشباب. هنا أيضا يخص أيضا التعليم، وأيضا من الناحية الاقتصادية مشكلات الشباب الآن عوائق من عوائق التقدم، طبعا انخفاض الكفاءات للشباب والبطالة وضياع الهوية والثقافة الإسلامية بسبب كل التحديات الموجودة، عدم توفير المرافق للعمل الإيجابي للشباب، وهناك تفكك أسري والغزو الفكري والإدمان والربا. فكل هذه مشكلات نحاول أن نتفاديها في المستقبل، ومن الآن نعمل جاهدين مع كل الجهات سواء أهلية أو حكومية وطنية أو دولية للعمل. فمؤتمرات مثل هذه مهمة جدا حتى نتواصل ونتبادل
communicate and exchange opinions
في تحسين الوضع
on how to improve the situation
نعيش فيه. نعم. وهنا استراتيجيات لحل المشكلات، تمكين المرأة في مجالي التعليم والاقتصاد. طبعا لابد هناك تعاون ثقافي وعلمي حتى تترقى دور التعليمي والدور المرأة الثقافي، ثم دورات تربوية. كثيرا ما نعمل دورات تربوية في هذه الآونة، خاصة لترقية من الناحية المهنية، سواء في الحرف أو في الصناعات البسيطة، وأيضا في الزراعة وتربية الدواجن أو المواشي. دورات نحتاجها لتمكين المجتمع وتجهيز العمل للتربية المنزلية. هذا مهم أيضا. نحن في إندونيسيا نأخذ هذه كعمل إضافي أو ترفيهي، ولكن بعد أن يحتاجون إلى فعلا المعامل هذه المنزلية حتى يعيشون منها، يكتسبون من المهن البسيطة التي يعملون فيه. نعم. وعندنا أيضا تأهيل مقبلي الزواج. هذه مشكلة في الاستقرار الأسري. فنعمل جاهدين سواء منظمات
work very hard whether as private organizations or government organizations.
السلام عليكم أختي دكتورة.
Dr. Amani, we have lost you for the moment. I don't know, should we wait a little bit or maybe just move to the next speaker? Thank you very much, Dr. Amani, for your speech, in which you spoke about the existing gaps between men and women in Indonesian society.
ولكن أنا
انتهيت. I'm sorry for
شكرا
the
على حسن
interruption, but I was going to conclude anyway. Your speech was very interesting because you pinpointed the problems that you have, and you spoke about the reasons of those problems. You spoke about the gaps between women and men, and social and economic challenges. And we took the idea, we got an idea about the organization that you have, which are interested in empowering women, and they try to fill those gaps and overcome those challenges. And we have seen some nice pictures of students at the primary school. It was a nice picture. Thank you for that. And in the Muslim societies, we know Dr. Amani for her different activities, and thank you for your enormous efforts. Now we will move to the next speaker, Dr. Widad Naibi, Director of Ibn Battuta Institute. She will talk about awareness between population. You have the floor.
أسرة المجلس العالمي للمجتمعات المسلمة، معالي الدكتور علي راشد النعيمي، معالي الدكتور محمد البشاري، السيدات والسادة الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. لكم مني كل تحية وتقدير في هذه المناسبة التي تنصب في أهم ركائز الرسالة المحمدية، وهي إعطاء كل إنسان حقه ومستحقه. وقد أكد الإسلام على حق المرأة وحمى المرأة ودافع عنها، ولنا في رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خير نموذج لذلك. ورغم ذلك فللمرأة كلمة لم تقلها بعد، والمتعلقة بالطريقة التي بها تنظر إلى الواقع ومجريات الأمور. الملخص: لا يخفى على الباحث أن الإنسانية في هذه الفترة مرت بتجربة جديدة مكنتها من إعادة النظر في جوهر الحياة وجميع متعلقات الأمور، فلم يصبح للمال قيمة ولا لكل ما نملكه نفع إلا هذه الصحة المجتمعية. وفي نفس الوقت بدأنا نعي أهمية البحث عن المعلومات الصحيحة، وأدركنا أن مصيرنا يجب أن يكون في أيدينا، وأن الاختيار يجب أن يكون مبنياً على المصلحة العامة، إذ لا مصلحة للفرد دون مصلحة الجماعة. المقالة مرتكزة على 10 كلمات. الكلمات هي الوعي، الترابط الداخلي، الترابط المجتمعي، الترابط العاطفي، الترابط الأسري، الوعي التقني، الوعي الصحي، الوعي المجتمعي، الوعي الديني، والوعي الطبيعي. فقبل أن أبدأ في تحليل الكلمات، أنتهز هذه الفرصة لأقف تحية إجلال لكل هؤلاء النساء التي بالفعل لم تقفوا إلا أن تقوم بدورها وتعطي كلمتها وتسمع
in the society, despite all attempts to or the hindrances that they faced. Through the research that I did, and I could mention a few names here. when I grew up, when I was a child, I used to hear those names. So I pray to God to bless all those women and their great efforts. Certainly, those women, those Muslim women who worked hard to serve humanity, we cannot. Humanity cannot advance unless women play its effective role in the advancement of humanity. Concerning coronavirus, it was quite clear. It was quite clear that women played an effective role in this regard. Whether in health sector or education, it was clear that women played an effective role in where women characters play. The target wasn't for the sake of promoting and marketing the role of women, but indeed the women played an effective role to serve humanity in all aspects of life, whether health or education, and played various professions and played various roles. What we've noticed that in this year or the last year, that men talked more. That does not mean that women was not there, not really. The trend of media directed was really the trend of media, or media was targeting men as speakers. However, but media never approaches or doesn't approach women to speak. So we didn't have an opportunity to convey the message we wish to convey to the society. So this is a kind of a window through which we can express thoughts and ideas worldwide. So as I said, this is my message. This is my window through which I can convey my message. Coronavirus, for me, I could say, indeed, we never pray, we never call for this virus to be propagated or spread. However, this virus opened our eyes to the value of life, opened our eyes to the value of everything around us. In other words, the standards we used to measure things by before virus corona have completely and radically changed. We are in a state of loss and confusion because of this virus. We realize there is a power that we had never considered that. Like when the verses in Quran says, can't you consider how your body operates? How that the mother, for instance, the relationship between the mother and her infant, those or children, those relationships have been neglected. For example, now what really matters to people is how to take the latest phone. So we could see that the airports come to halt, the movement, the transport, everything came to halt, everything was stopped thanks to a single virus. We came to know that the conflicts that we used to have before the virus, whether a war or any conflict between countries, and even countries that we have brothers and loved ones, have also experienced war and conflict like Libya and so on. We need to know that those wars that have been waged, we have nothing to do with those wars. The fight for power is not of our concerns. We are not concerned with that. We need to direct our energy and power to those events that have a positive energy. Life, my husband says, we will be, the Prophet says, we will be asked about the time we spent. So after COVID, we've lost many friends. Many people have died. there are people, or there is someone that we used to talk about. He is no longer here. We heard that he died. We felt remorse and regret for the departure of those individuals. So this pandemic made us feel the value of outdoor activities and so on and so forth. Now, the awareness is a word that, as I research, is a state of mind where it could preserve the surrounding. Now, we always looking at what is the latest, what is the number of fatalities. We have become obsessed with the latest data and stats concerning the COVID. Was there any medicine? We asked, was there any medicine for malaria? Is there any medicine for any disease? Now, before things escalate, we go to the pharmacy and ask for medicine. We ask for vitamins, for zinc. So there is a kind of awareness worldwide. So what really matters at the end of the day is the society, is community awareness. This common awareness that was ignited in us, because earlier I used to complain and whine, but now after COVID, everyone is vigilant. Everyone is on his or her toes. We take showers using salty water. We wash our face using salty water. We clear and cleanse our air and nose using salty water. So we have taken extra precautions to remain healthy, even including cardamoms and spices in our food. All that is an attempt to keep ourselves healthy. Everyone now is paying attention and concerned with his or her well-being. Now the concept of ego that me and my kids and my sons has changed. Now and the awareness that everyone, we is no longer me. So all over the world, we have this common society awareness that everyone feels. And initially they used to talk about China. What's going on? What's taking place in China? Now we want to know what's taking place in China. And then after the pilgrimage was stopped, we become concerned when we'll be able to go for pilgrimage. Now, everyone is asking me when we will be able to perform Umrah or pilgrimage. Even those people who are not really interested in going for pilgrimage or Umrah, they also ask. Now, the point is the ego is no longer there. Now we have an interest of society. At this stage, this inner feeling of loneliness kills more than virus, corona. The lonely person, the one who is not loved, the one who doesn't have friends or brother or sibling, the one who doesn't have anyone to complain or vent, the one who doesn't have an opportunity to share his feelings and emotions, the one who is arrogant or not forgiving. We've become distant from one another. But this is what we need. We need sympathy, empathy, mercy of our mother. Now, when a father asks his son to remain or stay at home, this kind of caring or power for family over kids has become valuable. At the beginning of the COVID, after Mauritania, I went to Dhaka. Then I wanted to go to Egypt. Then I changed my course from Dhaka. I went back home, and my husband told me, Go back to your kids. Don't go anywhere. And they listen to his word, thanks to God. This husbandry, supervision, and caring created this emotion within me that there is someone who cares, someone who wants my presence. This year made the emotional relationship between everyone strong and valuable. Unfortunately, that doesn't apply to all families. Some families couldn't take advantage of this pandemic to improve their relationships. People need empathy and sympathies and emotions because this is part of our education and very important and crucial part of our well-being. And at that stage, when we were speculating about COVID, that speculation made us very weak and vulnerable, but the certainty gave us a sense of warmth. So this has become very crucial and central to our life. We learned what we need, what we don't want. We learned that it's our duty to find solutions as opposed to fighting between each other. So this unbalanced behavior and conflict that unnecessarily needed to be avoided. The health awareness of health. Now everyone sits. When we had a meeting during this year, we had a meeting with brothers from Christians, and we used to use the sanitizers to clean and cleanse our hands. A Christian says, we are all Muslims now. So I was amazed. Because the secular society would perceive Muslims as clean and as someone who cleans his hands. Now, Muslims have become a role model, of a positive role model. We've received positive comments. This is the message of the Prophet, peace be upon him. This health awareness, now we have become aware of what type of diet or food we should consume, what type of drink, what type of fruit, the fresh fruit that we should consume. And we should consume also hot food, because eating in restaurants, no matter how good the restaurants are, still it's not the best option for having a healthy diet. So I care about my own cleanliness. And in some countries, when they impose quarantine or lockdown, it enforced many people to stay at home. I've got so many points, but I will go through them quickly. The family awareness, accepting the other, the need for other. Everyone goes to work. God bless you. Sorry, if you could give it to us in a nutshell, we really appreciate it. We have so many speakers. If you can give it to us in a nutshell, hopefully. This technological awareness, I no longer require to travel to meet people, but using technology, the whole world interacted with this circumstance. We rely more on technology to communicate with one another. So we developed this awareness about the importance of technology. Now, with the passage of time, we've accepted. Now, the religious awareness, people had never known the value of mosque. Now people are missing the mosque, missing mosques. People now missing going to mosques. Now our relationship, our love to mosque went, as soon as the mosques were reopened, we rushed to the mosque, because then we realized how valuable it is, this place of worship, and how the lockdown prevented us from going to our love, a place where we can establish communication with the creator of the universe. So thanks to this COVID, thanks to the lockdown, we become closer to God. We become also more interested in the instructions of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Not only for Muslims, for everyone. The awareness of nature. People who used to use, people who used to live in a very tight and small confinement or flats or apartment, when they had that lockdown, they wished that they could have a bigger flat. They become aware of the importance of nature, of outdoor activities, of plants, of listening to the sounds of birds. Those fundamental and radical changes that we went through has changed the perspective of many people, and we care now about the green environment. Lastly, the internal connection is very crucial and important. This internal connection, when someone is sick, when someone you feel his pain, in other words, empathy, when you care about others, when we never knew the importance of this internal connections, I need to know that my well-being, my health is closely correlated and connected to the health and well-being of others. For me to protect myself, I need to care and protect others. Even when we look at the food, it's not easy for a Muslim woman to be veiled. Even the look at the veil. Now we cannot expect everyone to accept the veil. But the perception or the perspective about the women, Muslim women, the veiled Muslim women. Now with the mask, since we can no longer remove the mask, therefore we can also wear our Islamic veil. So the view towards the veil has become accepted. Now the veil has become accepted. Now we will remain and we will maintain health and standards, and thus health and standards that we have accumulated for the last year, and this will remain after the COVID-19. I pray to Allah to protect us all. We should remain clean and we should remain proud of our veil, proud of our religion, proud of our Islam, because Islam chose the best for us. And we should move forward and should go advance. Thanks and greeting to everyone. Doctor, God bless you for this an interesting, diverse speech. And I think everyone enjoyed listening to you. You have detailed and categorized the human awareness into so many different categories, like social, technical, and religious, and natural, and all aspects of all categories of awareness, as well as the connection, all types of connection, whether internal or external. So each and every individual should be connected and closely connected. And we have found something that everyone has found something that resonates with his or her experience, whether it's in Europe or in Asia or in the Arabic world or in Europe. All world continents have experienced similar experience. We are all, if we want to look at the religious values, the Islam taught us values and principles. However, we haven't paid enough attention to those values and principles. We never gave it enough priorities. God bless you. And now we move to the next speaker, the third speaker, Mr. Sirignano, she will speak. Rosanna, she will speak. He is the teaching from Napoli University, from the spiritual education. She may take the floor. Greetings, everyone. I will speak in English.
Assalamu alaikum, and I would like to thank you for this invitation. So I'm very honored to be here and to share.
أشكر الجميع تواجدهم هنا، ومن دواعي سروري تواجدي معكم كمدرس حر أدرس اللغة العربية وأدرس لغات أخرى، وأدرس أيضا إدارة التوتر العصبي.
في نفس الوقت كنت أفكر في مستقبلي ماذا أفعل في نفس
very small job, so I don't earn my living from it. And so I was before the lockdown started, I was creating an independent project on education called Mariamed, from my Islamic name. And I had created a website where I described all the courses I offered, so Arabic, Standard Arabic, etc., Islamic studies, etc. And then the lockdown started. So first of all, I had to defend my PhD thesis online. It was Ramadan. And believe me, I've never been so thirsty in my life like that day. But that day, it was Ramadan. I was fasting, and it was very hard to speak without drinking. But I really felt that the solution was tawakkul. So the solution was just relying on God. After my PhD, of course, I was scared because the internet was very crowded. So how can I start an online project now where online courses are thousands? How can I earn my living on online courses? This is not a good business. It's crazy. So many questions came to my mind, but the solution was again tawakkul. So it was again relying on God, just praying and just do things fi sabilillah, on the sake of God. So what was my solution is to set the right intention, the right niyyah, because everything can be successful if you have the right intention. And I will explain you why. So during the first lockdown in Italy, as you know, the situation was very sad. In just 1 month, many people I knew died or got infected. And what I did first is to offer my competencies for free, just to put my competencies at the community service. So I offered free sessions of coaching about time and stress management, and I also offered free sessions on Islamic studies. Some Italian Muslims asked me to organize something during the Ramadan, because it was the first Ramadan in lockdown. So I just invite people to join an online group on Islam. So it was very simple. I used to propose a verse from the Quran and one hadith for each session. And then I used to lead a discussion about this verse and hadith. What is amazing is that this group is still alive. So from last Ramadan, we meet regularly twice a week. And at the beginning, I was leading this group, but now the organization is totally different. So every 2 weeks, someone chooses a topic and presents the topic to the group, and then we discuss it freely. So it's a free space where Muslims can feel at their ease and can speak about their expectations, or they can encourage each other in this amazing spiritual path. And so something else, this was, I would say, this was more, of course, than earning money. And something else I would like to share is about a course that I organized especially for Italian Muslims who cannot read Arabic. So I created a course of Quranic Arabic in Italian language because in Italy, I mean, we lack of Islamic education. I mean, even about book, I mean, in English, I mean, we have more books about Islam, but in Italy, I mean, the situation is different. So I created this course, which was the first course on Quranic Arabic that combined a history of the history of Islamic countries, so the history of Islam, Islamic culture, Arabic language, and it combines a traditional Islamic methodology with a teaching contemporary methodology. So I was very surprised when non-Muslim people applied for this course. I was like, my first reaction was, sorry, maybe you misunderstood. This is not a course of standard Arabic. This is Arabic for Quran. So I just teach people to read Quran. I mean, to read Arabic for the Quran. It's for Muslims. So, and then they said, I want to know more about Quran. I want to learn Arabic as a sacred language because I acknowledge that Arabic is a sacred language. Okay, I just, again, tawakkul, I relied on God. They say, okay, I will welcome them. And believe me, this was simply a miracle. First of all, because students who attended my course became friends. So this was not only a language course or a course about history or Islamic culture, but this was really an experience of interreligious dialogue. They became friends. People who were Muslims for the first time after years, so they could read the Quran from the text. And I cannot really describe the emotions when for the first time they could recognize the letters. Non-Muslim people were surprised. They learned to respect the Quran. So it was amazing when they asked me, can I touch a Quran? Can I touch a book? Can I buy it? And this was amazing because they really understood that Islam is a spiritual path. It's first of all a spiritual path. Then it's culture, then it's society, but it's a spiritual path. I just want to tell you one very amazing experience about one lady from the course. During the final exam, she cried. So while she was telling about the history of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, she cried and said, this course for me was a miracle because I never imagined that there was a book like Quran. And when I hear the Fatiha and other surahs from Quran, I really feel connected to God. And when I learned that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a prophet, I was like amazed and surprised. And I thank you because you opened my eyes. So imagine me that I was the teacher and I was testing it and I say, okay, thank you. This was the best result. I mean, the best result of this course. So what I would like to tell you, especially to young people and especially to women, even when you start a business, don't think about money. Don't think about material, the material aspects. But think about the niyyah, think about God. Money is a means, not the end, cannot be the end. When you rely on God, when you do things because of your spiritual growth, when your focus in life is Islam, and when you consider this life like just a test, we are here like in a special, it's a mission for us to be here. But our gain is not material. We need to gain for the year after. When you stay focused on your spiritual path, on Islam, the risk, so the sustenance, the material aspect will come. Money will come, and God will provide you with what you need. And if God will test you, it's because of your it's because there is a hikmah, there is something that we cannot, there is a hikmah behind something that we cannot immediately understand. Maybe we will never understand, but this means tawakkul is not easy. That's why we need to pray every day. That's why we need to read Quran every day. That's why we need dhikr every day, because it's not easy. Because people, I mean, we are human beings and we forget. So sometimes we get scared and we forget that what we are doing is for God's sake. So I really encourage you, especially young people, don't be scared. If you want to start any kind of job, if you want to start an independent business, just rely on God, because everything is part of Islam. Everything in our lives is part of Islam. And when you do everything, even drinking, eating, saying, not only saying Bismillah, but doing it, Bismillah, it's only an expression, but then we have to behave accordingly. So behave accordingly to this Bismillah, and everything will be, inshallah, easy for you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
جزاك الله خيرا. يا أختي رزانا دكتورة.
May God bless you, Dr. Razana, for your speech, which was very valuable, and you talked to us about your personal experience in launching the project during the pandemic of COVID-19, and also you gave us some tips, saying that the intention is the most important thing and we should rely on God all the time, and that during this pandemic we are more committed to the principles of religion, and we need to reconsider our values, and we need to establish strong bonds with Almighty God, and that we need to correct our intentions. Those nice words were very good for everyone, and we hope to hear more from other colleagues. Now we will move to Miss Dia Martinelli, and she's an expert in taxes and assistant to the public prosecutor in Brazil. She will talk about the woman and intersections. So the woman and her intersection. So sorry, because for me this word is not clear.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for saying my name in the perfect way, mashallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Habibina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Firstly, I would like to thank His Excellency Dr. Ali Rashid Al-Nuaimi and Dr. Mohammed Bishari for the opportunity to be here today, speaking in this webinar about Muslim women a year after COVID-19, past and future aspirations. On behalf of whom I greet all the other speakers and participants, thank you for your time. My name is Flavia. I am a Brazilian Muslim lawyer. I am a founding member of our National Association for Muslims Jurists in Brazil, ANAGE. I was given the task to talk about women and their intersectionalities. International Women's Day, do we really have a lot to celebrate? International Women's Day is a global day celebrating the socio-economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The day also marks a call to action for accelerating gender parity. It's interesting to think we have to celebrate a day in which, by the simple fact of being a woman, we should all celebrate as we all were equal. We are not. International Women's Day fails to account for the diverse grievances, needs, and expectations of women in varied contexts, dismissing issues affecting women, and in which women are discriminated against, harassed, and marginalized on a daily basis. Besides, the Occidental view of Islam tries to create a connection between sexual violence against women, attributing it to Islam, as opposed to a patriarchal power structures that adversely affect women in the rest of the world as well. Such arguments draw attention to the importance of women and their intersectionality. Intersectionality, as many have convincingly argued, requires that the multiple layers of oppression faced by women in diverse contexts be seriously addressed. I did a quick research that shows during pandemic, men became more productive, wrote more articles. Also that besides most PhD holders are women, less women are employed in their field of study. And women, what happened to them during the pandemic? And why are they less hired in their fields of study, for example, when they are PhD holders? And during pandemic, what we did, we were dividing ourselves into so many roles and being overwhelmed with the variety of tasks. These days I gave an interview, and of course, one of the questions made were, if I think Islam is oppressive for women, if we could work, if we could be business women, and so on. I took my time and was giving examples such as of Khadija radiallahu anha and how was she supporting the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was a businesswoman, and also Aisha, our jurist, who taught many men and narrated many hadith. I explained them that since the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, women were greatly appreciated and heard, and that Islam came to reassure the status of women and grant them equal rights. We still have a long way showing the world that Muslim women are not oppressed, that wearing hijab doesn't restrict our abilities. We are mothers, professionals, some the soil provider at their home. Women living in Muslim minority countries suffers a lot of discrimination because of this negative image created by the media. Sometimes they cannot get job positions because of hijab, for example, or because they are questioned about their faith, having their professionalism and capabilities questioned. Because sometimes people have the image, because we are Muslim, oh, we have some restrictions, we can work here or there, which is not true. So and also like sometimes we get harassed in the streets just simply because wearing headscarf. And since most people in minority Muslim countries do not have direct contact with Muslims in their daily lives, media seriously influences public attitudes about Islam and Muslims. What can we do about it? That's the main question today. First, talking about it, how we are doing it today. And for that, I thank the World Muslim Community Council for always giving us the chance of speaking and addressing such issues in their events. Also, it is very important that opportunities are offered to Muslim women, knowing the big difficulties they face to find a job. Intersectionality tells us how much different we are, and we suffer in so much different levels and areas. We all need the same, being recognized and having opportunities, especially to occupy spaces and also to have the chance to voice ourselves out to the world. That's it. I plan to talk very shortly and briefly what I was intending to do, because it is, such a broad topic, but like I wanted to give you more practical examples, and that's it. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Barakallahu fikum.
أشكرك يا أختي على فلافيا على هذه المداخلة والكلمة القيمة. فعلا نحن نسر جدا أن نرى في دول غير إسلامية مسلمات يقمن بأعمال مهمة والعظيمة فعلا، بأن يعني أنت في مكانك تمثلين المرأة المسلمة بشكل عام، يعني لا تمثلين فقط اسمك وشخصيتك
You are not presenting only yourself, but you are presenting the Muslim women in Europe and in the West. And we are proud of you and of other women like you for all the jobs that you do. And you explain the importance of the woman in Islam, and not like we hear from the media, from different outlets, but we represent Islam, we represent the values of Islam like we were taught by Islam. So we are very proud of you, my sisters, and we always encourage you wherever you are. And now we will move to the next speaker, which is Asia Moka Omar, who is the founder and the general manager of the first network of Muslim women, and she will talk about educational and economic empowerment of the Muslim woman in 2021, 1 year after the starting of more than 1 year after the pandemic started. You have the floor.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you hear me? Sound is work? Hope. Yeah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah. Thank you for inviting me to talk in this such a great conference. Mashallah, I'm so happy to be today here and see such a great sisters, very active, who help to be better for our sisters, Muslim sisters in whole world. So my name is Asia Mokra Omar. I'm founder and CEO of Amanat Info. I'm from Ukraine, but almost 5 months I live in Dubai. So I'm more close to Muslim Communities Council now, alhamdulillah. What is Amanat Info? Amanat Info is the media education and networking platform. Our platform's mission is to connect Muslim sisters around the world and empower them in economics and education. And why this empowerment is very important, especially nowadays, I will tell you now. Our team has been observing a growing trend among the younger generation of Muslim women, the weakening of the Iman. We are increasingly seeing a sad trend when those who fought for their hijab yesterday take it off or leave Islam today. While researching this problem, I came to a closed circle of codependent problems in international Muslim women community. You can see my presentation, yeah, now in the screen, I hope. Yeah, okay. So I will talk now about this circle. So usually everything starts from violation of women's rights under Sharia law in the family. A lot of Muslim girls even don't know about their rights. And the most common result of it is that they are not allowed to study by their families. Priorities in the girl's life are not in the direction of education. This leads to psychological and domestic violence. So most of these girls come to the modern world without or with very low levels of education. And as a result of lack of education, no profession, and difficulties with employment. This makes a lot of Muslim women financially depend on their husbands and family. And this is not a big problem when their family is educated Muslim who know and practice Islam. And I cannot even explain to you all the terrible stories that often come to our edition from women who live in opposite situations. And this what leads to the non-Muslim world
to create false stereotypes in society and make Muslim women as victims in the general system of mass psychology. It brings Muslim women in difficult situation when one group of people try to save them from hijab. It is what usually feminist organizations use because they know nothing about Islam. And other group of people discriminates Muslim women. In words, still the most discriminative minority group are the Muslim women who wear hijab. For example, in USA, 69%. In Russia, more than 60% Muslim women who had cases of discrimination. In job, in education, for example, in work in universities, they had these cases. So what happens when Muslim women come face to face with modern world without education and economic opportunities? Some Muslim women go back to comfort zone, what is really not comfort to them. And some go out of Ummah. In COVID time, all these problems become more huge. The United Nations has described the worldwide increase in domestic abuse as a shadow pandemic alongside COVID-19. It's though cases have increased by 20% during the lockdown, as many people are trapped at home with their abuser. And the quality of education has declined. In 2020, the global rate of unemployment amount to 5.42%. But one positive thing, reduced levels of religion discrimination due to home isolation. So what can we do to make a difference? I really want the leaders of our Ummah to think about it and start doing something what will empower Muslim women in education and economics. It can make us more powerful and confident. Team of our platform believes that women only can help women today by network and support in education and economic empowerment in the borders of Sharia law. 1.5 years we do independent media, online courses, and developing Muslim women networking. In the year after COVID, we want to do more. This month, inshallah, in Amanat Info, we'll start 5 non-profit social projects. It will be online projects. Every project has a mission and program to solve the problems that I talked about in this presentation. For example, what about this project? We inshallah will try to protect the rights of Muslim women under Sharia law by the education on women's Sharia rights, providing psychological and legal and Sharia support to affected women. Of course, we plan to do it everything online. Also, we will create a group of psychological trainings. Also, we plan make protecting Muslim women's civil rights. We know that a lot of Muslim women even don't know about their civil rights, what protect them about wearing hijab, about practice their religion in non-Muslim countries. So we want to give education for Muslim women in international law, make providing legal support in cases of discrimination against Muslim women because of the hijab, and support sisters with a weakened iman. Also, we plan to do training in remote professions. We already started do it, like we do it almost the 1 year. So, and we want now continue do it, but give more free opportunities inside of these non-profit projects. Also, we will start halal job platform for Muslim women to help in finding employment for halal work online, and mentoring support from other sisters. Of course, mashallah, in our ummah, we have a lot of women who like already done self-realization in science or in business, and we want to as well support these women by the intelligence opportunity, and we want to give them more opportunities in international area. So, a moment. Also, we understand that Generation Z, like other people call them Zoomers, needs personal attitude. We made our research as well, where I was talking with Muslim teenagers and their parents about problems of Iman. Teenagers want to be free and independent. They don't understand for what and why they should practice such a difficult religion. They want to be like everyone else. It's such a sad thing that generation that should be a future of Islam does not see modern opportunities in Ummah. That's why we decided to make special programs for teenagers inside of these 5 projects, inshallah. So what we'll do, we plan give more education on women's rights, in Sharia rights for Muslim girls. Also, we understood the big problem about sexual education between parents and kids. So we want as well give sexual education in Islamic borders. Support sisters with a weakness iman, give psychological support. A lot of teenagers today, they won't try do some job online, and we want to give them courses about remote professions and give mentoring support from other sisters, and help find employment for halal work online for teenagers as well. And of course, we want that our new generation, they see more modern opportunities inside of Ummah. So also we plan give them opportunities in STEM education, what is a trend in nowadays. I believe that only the comprehensive approach to interrelated problems will lead us to positive changes. So thank you for attention. I was a little bit worried. So I open for communications, for partnerships with our platform to help, who want to help us make this projects global, because we will start now just from these countries for Russian speaking community, but we plan as well to do it global in English languages, maybe other languages. So who want to join us in this way, welcome. My contact you can see, so keep in touch and do better future for our new generation in our Ummah, inshallah. Thank you.
جزاك الله خيرا يا آسيا على هذه.
Thanks Asia for this presentation that represents indeed the fundamental work or the real trend of the social networking of the Muslim women. And I came to know about Asia a year ago, and she's visited my home, and she found the company for the network here in. Indeed, I was amazed, I was impressed with her inspirations and her ambitions and her readiness to help women, Muslim women in particular, all over the world. And now she set up this network, which is indeed, it is not that old. It's was recently established. Although all those difficulties, she went ahead and established various projects, social projects and educational projects, and various projects for all spectrums of society for all Muslims, for all Muslim women. And I've seen the objectives that she set up for herself and for her network and for her ambitions. And God willing, she will achieve all those objectives. And I can see her team that work diligently to achieve those goals. I say that she has an expert on Muslim affairs on board, and I'm so proud of that I know her, the sister. Indeed, she is very active and sincere, and God willing, as I pointed out to Dr. Flara and all sisters, who Dr. Amali and Dr. Widad and all, that I'm so proud of all my sisters. Each one of you works within her domain, with her scope, diligently and sincerely. And likewise, you should move forward. You should achieve advancements, and you should achieve a great achievements, God willing. We are not alone. We support men in this arena. Our aspirations, their aspirations, each one of us, we walk in our own path to achieve happiness and the advancements of the Muslim nations and all humanity in general. That our nation, our Muslim, we are not going to be happy by ourselves. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said he was a mercy to everyone. Therefore, we shouldn't seek our own interest on our own happiness. We seek everyone's happiness. And this is known to everyone. Thanks, sister, for this amazing presentation. And thanks for the experience and knowledge you've shared with us. And we will look forward to benefit from each other's experience. And I would like also to thank who organized this event and this meeting, who brought us together from different and various parts of the world, so we can share knowledge. We share. The last speaker, Miss I hope I pronounce her name correctly. She, the head of the community, the royal community in Senegal, and she is an education inspector in the Arabic schools. And her speech is the Muslim Women's Society's stance. So, Miss, she may take the floor. I seek refuge from the devil, from Allah. Peace be up in the name of Allah. Peace be upon the Prophet Muhammad and his followers. My dear sisters, my dear brothers, members of the International of Muslim Societies and Communities, greeting to all of you. In this International Day for Women, I'd like to congratulate the Muslim women in particular, and we acknowledge what has been done, and women everywhere in the Muslim world. Women is the first one. If women is in the right, if the woman is unharmed, then the whole world will be unharmed. And she is the reformer of humanity, and she is the effective partner for our life. So I greet the loving mother, and I would like to thank the World Council for this event. Brothers and sisters, Allah created human for a single mission, as the verse in the Quran says, in the Quran, as an interpretation, I created men and jinn to worship. So our life has become hard and has so many challenges. Those challenges like Corona and so on and so forth. So we ask God to relieve us from this pandemic. Dear brothers, my presence in this meeting is not a comment or a lecture, as it's something simple to say. I have limited time, so thanks to Allah, I am praise to Allah and peace be upon His Prophet. Dear brothers, everybody knows that the world experienced a very hard year thanks to the COVID-19. Our life was quite difficult and hard in all aspects of life: health, economy, social, education, so on and so forth. The Senegal women's societies played an effective role to ease that burden through recommendations and help, financial help and aid, and religious lectures to encourage people to seek refuge to Allah and rely on Allah and stay away from all sins and from all misdeeds. So our societies in Senegal worked in collaboration with other societies, which I chair, under the supervision of the dean of the city where I live. We stopped the begging by distributing foods, so students will never go for opt for begging, and they should remain home where the food could be delivered, out of fear that the virus could be spread or could be spread to other places. Because the Quran instructions is emphasized by the Senegalese government. So the reader of the Quran was allowed to practice some certain activities so he could feed his or his family. And during the pandemic or the lockdown. Also, our societies encouraged sisters to go to the hospitals and visit sick people, because listening to the doctor's recommendations is also a religious demand or a prerequisite. As the Prophet says, seek medicine, and prevention is way better than the cure. And the verses in Quran says, never seek harm. So we seek refuge from Allah from all bad deeds. And I end and conclude my speech by thank Ahmed Salem, who allowed me to take part in this event, in this valuable sessions. Thanks to Allah. And I wish you all the best and greetings. Greetings back to you, sister. There is an echo. If you could turn off your mic, please. I could hear the echo, please. Thanks. is still there? Can you hear me now? Did you hear us? Yes, certainly we heard you all. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. جزاك الله خيرا يا السيدة أرمسك على
Ms. Armsek, for this speech that you talked about the values, the national values that you as societies, women's society focused on during your operation, and may God bless you for your activity and your effort and helping that you've exerted, the effort that you've exerted to those poor and needy people. Allow me, brothers and sisters, the international community for Muslim, to thank you all for those speeches, and very beneficial and amazing speeches that we all benefited from. And those speeches should be recorded. And my name, the Dr. Ali Rashid Al-Nuaimi, Dr. also Ahmed Al-Bishari. I would like to thank all that you had the time and you enriched this meeting by your speech, the diverse speech and very beneficial ones. At the end, I'd like to pray to Allah that accepts all women, that accepts our good deeds that we have been doing from various parts of the world, whether they are doctors or nurses or lawyers or experts from various parts of life, or even teachers or mothers, or all professions. It's endless. Each one of us has made his contributions or her contribution, and she helps to the advancement of the Muslim nation alongside the men, and helps men. She doesn't only helps men, she, as the doctor pointed out in his speech, Muhammad al-Bashar, that we are a partner of the society. We are partner of men in all aspects of life. Therefore, we are proud of you, sisters, and thanks to the council for giving us this opportunity to talk and share experience. We can say our speech, as Dr. Wadad pointed out in her speech, that we haven't said our word yet. That is, she highlighted the role Muslim women could play in the future. We haven't said our word yet, but now we are indeed have realized more the importance of the role we play. Thank you all. And also on your behalf, I extend the gratitude and thanks to the Muslim Council, and I look forward to more beneficial meetings so we can exchange experiences and experts, and we can enrich each other's experience in our by knowledge, sharing knowledge and experience, and God willing, that help us achieve our goals and answer our prayers. And greetings to all of you, sisters. Doctor didn't wrap it up. I'm wrapping this up and this conference in my name, on behalf of Dr. Ali Rashid Al-Nuaimi, and in the name of Muhammad al-Bashari. Thank you very much. Greetings, everyone.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. دمتم بخير.
ودمتم بخير كذلك يا أخواتي. السلام عليكم.
Stay safe. Thanks.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. شكرا جزيلا.
السلام عليكم. جزاكم الله خيرا.